When you have PSS, when you are psychosocially balanced, you have that feeling of security, love, and trust in others. Yeah? You have a sense of self-worth and confidence. You have a confidence in yourself. A child is able to walk up and ask questions. You know, somebody's coming up to talk to you, you are not looking away. You know, you are able to engage directly with the individual, you know, and engage in a real good discourse. That is sign of the fact that you are balanced, you know, emotionally, psychosocially. A sense of identity and belonging. You are who you are. You appreciate who you are. Those are part of why PSS is important, and it creates that among children and caregivers as well. You participate. You know, people are not talking and then you keep quiet even though you have something to say. It's very important, you know, when you have sound PSS, then you are able to do all that. You are socially connected to others. You are able to share. You got friends. You are not worried about, you know, being within certain social environment. You can contribute anywhere you find yourself. Then you also have a sense of empathy for others and respect for others. I know a lot of us know the difference between sympathy and empathy. You know, you are empathetic towards the case of other people, and you have respect for other people as well. You show age-appropriate knowledge, you know, skills. That's cognitive development and behavior. You are not 40 and behaving like a 20-year-old. And you know, you show maturity that is appropriate to your age, you know, in your dealings with people, and also you demonstrate age-appropriate skills. Even your ability to be able to do certain things, you know, are as expected at your age. You know, so in this it talks about broadening the coping alternatives. For instance, a child that is 8 years old, he does not need the same coping. Will not be able to develop the same coping mechanism as an adolescent that is 15-year-old, and it's not going to be the same for a woman that is 25-year-old. So you have to have, you know, that broadening coping alternative that is specific to your age as well. Then secure attachment with caregivers. You know, you must have that feeling of being a part of, you know, somebody's providing necessary care for you. There has to be that attachment that connotes security. I'm secured with this individual who is providing necessary care for me. And then there's meaningful peer relations or social competence. I'm sure we all know that you are able to relate with your peers. You don't feel subdued. You don't feel bullied. You know, you can stand up to your right and ask questions on issues that are not very clear to you. Okay, so what are the impacts of PSS interventions? I've defined what an intervention is, and there's been some evidence around. It's been very difficult to gather evidence around how impactful PSS interventions has been. But I made some effort to talk about this, and I've actually, you know, divided up into 4 key areas: emotional well-being, social well-being, skills and knowledge, and physical well-being. These are just few from different PSS interventions that happen all over the world. I was able to just get some bits and pieces of some of the evidence that shows that there's actually impact in PSS intervention. So let's look at emotional well-being. Of course, you know, when you say about emotional well-being, you're saying that there is that increased security and confidence, as indicated by reaching out and making friends, or at least participating in social activities. Alright? This is very important, especially for children that have been traumatized, children that have experienced conflict, people that have seen children that have seen people being killed right in their presence. Some have suffered, seen their parents being murdered right in their presence. So this is extremely important for them. And then we see that for adults, they also have that self-control and pro-social behavior. They are not aggressive. You know, if you notice that there are some parts of this country that have experienced, you know, extended period of violence, and you see that the tendency that people want to start showing aggression is there. But when you see them, you know, reducing their aggression, the rate of conflict is reducing, fighting among children, and is also reducing. That shows that your PSS intervention seems to be getting the desired impact. You can see some of the cited influences: the positive peer pressure, the principles of fair play. They apply principles of fair play in everything they do. There's positive coaching and facilitation experiences, and there's improved self-control, problem solving from participation in regular organized activities. So from the social well-being perspective, this is the improved ability to assume socially appropriate roles. That is roles that you are taking up that is acceptable within the society. So this is actually linked a lot to what you do to the child when the child is growing up, how you've been able to talk to the child. The child is being appreciated. Prof mentioned the other time that a lot of times we feel, some of us even shout at our kids when they're talking. You're actually eroding their self-confidence. You'll be surprised that people out there, they are not able to engage with their colleagues because we're already not orientating them to be socially well-behaved. So when you have child participating in cultural activities, tradition, they are able to play around with their mates, it's a sign that they have very good social well-being. Then here it's saying that if you see a child that is fulfilling those child-related development tasks, they are completing their schoolwork, they are playing, and it is a sign that they have social well-being. As a result of your intervention, it's been very impactful in the area of their social well-being. Here, it's about knowledge acquisition and skill acquisition as well. All right, in playing games, football, dances, games, playing music and songs, drama, debate, all sorts. And the knowledge that they've been able to do as a result of their children engaging in, there's a very strong linkage between when a child is playing, is allowed to play, and they are learning. Just like it has also an associated link between nutrition, food that the child is eating, and learning as well. So when you see that the child is developing the way it should be, the child is able to play. When the child is taught this how to perform a drama, the child does it correctly. This is how when you want to dribble somebody in the field of play, this is how you move. The next time the child does it well. So, it shows in demonstration that the child is actually acquiring some skills and knowledge, and this it's a boost of the cognitive development, which is related to their learning and creativity. And then also for caregivers, they also report that their children are now able to do things, that they are not able to do before. The children, they are talking about, they are taking responsibility in hygienic practices, and then they are also able to, the caregivers are able to teach their children. They are reporting that the other children are coming to teach their younger siblings about how to do things or how to play games. Those are signs and evidence that the PSS intervention has worked in the area of skills and knowledge. And of course, the last one is physical well-being, which I'm sure we all know. It is all about physical health and well-being of the child. They talk about cleanliness, talk about physical and psychological well-being, being healthy, clean and strong, and having enough food to eat. It makes the child to be very happy and proud. And so when the child is very happy and proud, and the child is eating very well, they are learning very well in school, they are able to contribute, they have good physical health. These are part of the things that shows that your PSS intervention is actually working. You see, when you are being hungry and you are getting sick or losing, parents or illnesses, is one of the most commonly cited worries that children report. So when you are able to address things around that, and then children report less of that, it shows that your PSS intervention is actually working. So how do we make psychosocial support count? I think one of the greatest challenges we're hoping to do here, we really don't seem to have appropriate guidance, tools to be able to measure psychosocial support. You remember I kind of like almost totally struggled through that session on evidence. Specific to Nigeria, I really don't think there are specific PSS intervention tools, guidelines, that we need to really, that guides implementers of, programs that affect children either as a result of conflict, violence, HIV/AIDS, that says these are the package of services you provided, and when you talk about psychosocial support. So I'm glad that this kind of this particular summit is going to be addressing such issues. I know this is just the beginning. There will be other meetings. There will be other meetings that will happen to ensure that we have such tools to make it work well. Within the OVC world, we also were as confused as everyone else in terms of how to go about this until we have something that's just a bit of guidance, not really very strong. We have the National Service Standard. I'm sure the Ministry of Women Affairs representative will be able to say this. We have the National Service Standard, and then we also have what we call the National Plan of Priority Agenda for OVC programming. Those are some of the tools that are being used, to guide not only intervention around PSS, but intervention generally around orphans and vulnerable children for people working with OVC in Nigeria. So in order for us to be able to achieve this, I mentioned this, we need to have standardized guidelines, strategies, and principles. And I'm going to mention some of the things we have currently at the moment, so that when we start development of some of these, we are not starting